In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But that's not what it says in the old ancient Hebrew or Phoenician language. That's not what it says in the original language.
All right, let's see it.
That's not what it says in Hebrew. It says, in the beginning of the creation, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Elohim is not the word God.
Yes, it is.
El is a Phoenician Canaanite name or word for deity, El. Elohim is like adding an S onto an English word. You have C-A-R for car, or C-A-R-S, cars, more than one. Well, that's exactly what Elohim means.
So none of this is accurate. Elohim is the grammatically plural form of the singular noun Eloah. Elim is the grammatically plural form of the singular noun El. The plural is created by the addition of yod and mem, just the im, not ohim, not lohim. And Elohim, as a concretized abstract plural, can be used in the simple plural with reference to plural entities, or it can be used in reference to a singular entity. You look at the verbs and you look at the pronouns to determine if the usage has plural reference or a singular referent. This creator does not know the first thing about Hebrew.
El is God, Elohim is plural. So the correct understanding should be read, in the beginning, the gods created the heavens and the earth, not God. This is why, incidentally, in Genesis 1:28 says, God said, come, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Who's us and our? Was God talking to himself?
So that's a reference to the divine council, but we know that because the verb is in the plural. The noun Elohim is not part of this sentence.
Interesting, in Genesis 1:2 says, and the earth was without form and void. That's another mistranslation. In the original, it does not say that the earth was without form and void. Actually, it says, and the earth became a waste and a desolation.
So this is also totally inaccurate. This verse begins, V'ha'aretz haita tohu vavohu, where haita is the feminine singular affix form of the verbal root haya, which means to be or to become. And here, as in most places, this verb is functioning as a copula, the to be verb in a predication, X is Y. When it means to become, there needs to be something in the context that indicates it is functioning that way, and there's nothing in the context here to indicate that. And this speaker obviously cannot generate any kind of argument that is in any way plausible. They don't even know how plurals are formed in Hebrew. So because I said so is also not remotely convincing.
He says to Adam and Eve, multiply and replenish the earth. Do it again, replenish the earth.
So this is a rather silly misunderstanding, but it's going to be the interpretive key for the rest of this video's claim that Genesis 1 is describing the recreation, repopulation of humanity because the gods desolated the population that existed previously. But the silly misunderstanding is that replenish, when the King James Version was originally revised, did not mean to fill again. The Hebrew root there is just malah, which just means to fill. It has nothing to do with doing over again. And it wasn't until the decade of the 1610s, when the King James Version was originally published, that that word came to be used to refer to filling something up over again. In the King James Version, in the Bishop's Bible, which was the source text for the King James Version, it uses replenish to mean to fill. And as far as I can find, the earliest English translation that uses replenish is the 1539 Great Bible. But you can go all the way back to the Vulgate, translated around 400 CE, and it uses replete, which just means to fill. So the idea that this is talking about filling again is the result of a misunderstanding based on the fact that the person speaking did not take 5 minutes to go look into the history of the usage of the word replenish. It's a rather silly mistake.